Hey guys, if 2026 is a year that you want to mill your own flour, you've come to the right place. Now, before we get into milling your flour, we need to understand the machine, the grain mill. I personally use the Nutrimill Harvest. It is not the cheapest mill out there, but out of most of the mills that are highly recommended that I'm sure you see on YouTube and Instagram already, this one is in the low to mid range. So it is a great starter mill. It's super user friendly. It looks beautiful sitting on your countertop. And we are going to talk about how to maintain it. Now, when you purchase this mill, what I will be showing you today is literally the first thing that you do when you take your mill out of the box. So before you can get into your grain and start milling flour, you have to do this step. It is very, very important. All right, so first up, we're gonna remove the lid, and then we have this button here, and this takes off this top piece, okay? And then inside here is where you see the stones. So super, super cool. As you can see, since mine is not brand new out of the box, there is a lot of dust going on in here. So I am going to clean this out before we mill the rice, which is what you do to maintain the stones. All right, so we're just cleaning off in here. Now, again, if you're taking yours out of the box, you're not gonna have a bunch of flour down here, so you really don't need to do this part before milling it, but every time you maintain your machine afterwards, you're gonna wanna start here. So this one, you can see a lot of flour gets skunked up in here. Now, one thing you'll notice, there is a little bit of glassing on my stones, but overall my stones are in really good shape because I maintain it. Now, if you wind your machine too tight, these will get really, really smooth, and that's when you're gonna run into problems with milling your flour. So maintenance is very, very important. And if you do this, your mill will be running wonderfully. So now we're going to turn the machine on, and we're going to dump in some rice. After we dumped the rice in, you can see we have a bunch of rice flour, which is actually great for dusting your sourdough loaves with if you want those beautiful scoring patterns. So you can keep this or you can dump it, totally up to you. I fill this up about halfway, a little over halfway, and I mill this through about once a month is my average. If I feel like I'm using my machine more than usual, then I'll maybe do one of these twice a month. But overall, that is how you maintain your Nutrimill Harvest grain mill. Like I said, super easy, super beginner friendly. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have a grain mill, if you want a grain mill, if that is on your plan for 2026. Our next video will be getting into the grain that goes with the grain mill. So we're gonna talk about milling grain, and we're also going to dive into the different types of grain and what grain you need to use based on what it is you're trying to make. If you have made it this far, I did already make a super awesome fresh milled flour conversion guide for you guys over on the blog. So this is super duper useful to troubleshoot replacing recipes you already love that use all-purpose flour for fresh milled flour. So definitely get your hands on that, check that out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.